What's up, guys, and welcome to a brand new episode of the King's Corner, where today we're talking about two new release films of 2023, starting with The Machine. Came to theaters a couple months ago, just recently hit Blu-ray, and the survival film that was supposed to come in theaters, I believe, in March or something like that, just never came around in my area anyway. So yeah, that's streaming on Peacock now. So we checked that out. So let's get started talking about The Machine. This is a film. You got Bert Kreischer, you got Mark Hamill playing father and son. This is very reminiscent to About My Father, which was a film that came out this year as well. Recently hit Blu-ray, and it's very similar. You get the father-son type comedy movie. Um, and what can I say? Uh, what I can say is this movie is better than that movie. That movie just kind of felt bland. It kind of dragged itself along. Wasn't really interesting. This film, there's a lot of interesting things going on within it. You got Bert Kreischer playing a version of himself to where he's going back down memory lane 23 years ago on this college trip he had that's now come to haunt him. And there's something that's missing that these Russian mobsters um, uh, want back, which I'm thinking it's a little convenient. He's throwing a party for his daughter, and he invites all these people, and some of the people that show up are these Russian mobsters. So yeah, I was thinking, why did they take 23 years to do this? Why didn't they show up, like, I don't know? I just didn't. It didn't really make sense. But once you get past that and you just get into the story and just the fun of it, to where these two get basically kidnapped and they have to sort of work together to figure out what they're gonna do. Um, is the movie extremely stupid? Yes, it is extremely dumb, but it's a better watch. I think, like I said, comparing it to About My Father, the films are just very similar with the father son type duo and a comedy film. This movie's it's an easier watch. I think the comedy is better. I don't think this movie is hilarious, but I do think, when it tries to hit for comedy, I think it succeeds. I thought the performances were fine. Mark Hamill doesn't really have much to do till like the middle of the movie. He just kind of was there until there's this segment that happens on a train, which is my favorite sequence of the film, where things actually start to happen, and I was really into it. So yeah, I mean, look, it's not a great movie. A whack and raucous good time, rocious. I don't know. A whack and rocious good time. I have no idea, but yeah, I don't think it's a great film. I don't think it's a bad film. I just think, if you want to watch like a Mark Hamill comedy, you want to see him in a comedy film, I don't think this is going to completely scratch the itch. As the film goes along, it gets more to do, but it kind of falls apart by the end, and it was just not great, but at the same time not terrible either. So The Machine's like a 3 out of 5 star movie for me. Right in the middle on it. And would I rewatch it? Yeah, I think I would. I think there are memorable scenes. There's that sequence on the train that I mentioned, which I think was probably my favorite segment of the film. I thought the action was pretty good. So yeah, that's my thoughts on The Machine. Now let's talk about Inside. This is a movie where Willem Dafoe is this art thief almost, and he's going into this luxurious penthouse almost to find this painting and steal it. He gets in there, painting's not there. One thing leads to another. He gets locked inside. The mechanics are going all haywire. The temperature starts to skyrocket. The temperature starts to drop. This is a survival film. which is not as good as a survival film of films like Adrift with Shailene Woodley, or certainly Life of Pi is definitely not as good as that. We've seen survival films in the past, I think, are better than this, but I think this movie it's interesting for sure. To have a guy that you don't really know much about, but you're just kind of with him because Willem Dafoe is doing his thing. I mean, towards the end of the movie, he's got a little monologue about chicken, where he's doing like a stand-up comedy bit, and he's talking about chicken, and I just thought that was, you know, hilarious. After a while, I just started cracking up. Um, but you gotta watch him try to get out. So the whole film, you're watching him do uh, numerous things that could help him survive and try to escape. And after a while, you're sitting there and you're like, this isn't really going anywhere. This seems kind of, I'm not going to say dull, because I think it was shot beautifully. I thought the cinematography was really good, and Defoe was great in the movie, but there's really not a lot going on until like the end of the film. The ending happens, and you go, you know what? This movie was, there's not a lot beneath the surface, but for what it was, I mean, I was pretty engaged, throughout. I don't think it was a great movie, but I don't think it was a bad film either. I was kind of into it. I don't think it was all that good, but I mean, if you want to watch a survival movie, you want to watch Willem Dafoe, don't expect like a great movie, but expect like an entertaining watch. To some people, it might be a waste of time, but by the end of it, it is a bit thought provoking, and it stuck with me a little bit. So yeah, not a great film, but not a terrible film either, not a bad film. I think it's a good movie, and I'm gonna give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it, for what it was. I was a fan of it. So guys, comment down below. Did you see these two movies? What'd you think about them? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We got a new episode of the King's Corner coming out in the next few days. Going to be seeing Strays, new comedy film with Will Ferrell, Jamie Foxx. They voice dogs. Raunchy R-rated film. Very excited to see that. It looks funny. Hopefully, it doesn't disappoint. So yeah, that's it for me. You can follow me on Twitter at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingRises131. That's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this one, and until next time, over and out.